So, what are your quick playoff questions before my math starts to fade in my brain? Because I had to do a lot of work on the Padres this week to try to figure out where they stand.
Who are we it's weird. I'm watching the game last night, the Braves and Dodgers. Good game. I mean, until it wasn't. Really, really good game. And Braves get a couple guys on in the eighth inning and against Kopech. And I'm like, oh, man, is Kopech finally going to start to crack? No. It just came back, got a lazy fly ball, 2 nasty Ks, Strands runners at second and third, nobody out for the Atlanta Braves. And we're not able to scratch a run across. And Dodgers went in and just exploded for 7, 8 runs or something.
And at that point, I was cheering for the Braves. I wasn't sure going into the series, but by the time the weekend was over,
it's weird how it switches.
I was now a big Braves fan, and it switched around, and I wanted the Dodgers to lose.
Yeah, just the Dodgers keep losing games. Next thing you know, you're right there. I think they started yesterday 3.5 games behind the Dodgers. So you're the Dodgers lost the first 2 games of that series, and you're like, all right, let's roll. Wouldn't you rather see the try to win the division?
It was like a month ago that we were like, oh wow, the division's really in reach. Then we cooled off. Dodgers started to get right, and you're like, all right, that dream's kind of gone. And then you look at the standings over the weekend, you go, 3 games, 3.5. Okay, I mean, if you get that number down to 2, 2.5. No, you have 3 against them.
That's the thing.
Next week, all of a sudden,
and you have the tiebreaker.
It's a little interesting.
You have the tiebreaker. So if they finish with the exact same records, it's us. Yeah. It's us. So listen, Padres have a tough road to hoe ahead. Certainly the last 12 games. But it's certainly within reach. It's certainly a possibility and a lot closer. Now, again, they're going to play another game today, Benny. I think they have a wraparound. Yeah. So they'll play one more today. Yeah, man. I mean, if they split, whatever. But
at this point, I think you're cheering for the Braves all out to beat the Dodgers and see if the Padres can get within that 3-game window with the 3 to play against the Dodgers next week in their second to last series of the season.
And as far as the math goes, where do we stand? How confident are we?
So
I'd say a lot more confident than we were on Friday.
Yes,
right?
It's a bit complex. The Padres are 85-65, 20 games above 500 for the first time since 2010. They've got a 1.5 lead over the Diamondbacks. 3.5 over both the Mets and the Braves, who are tied for the 3rd wild card spot. Now, remember, they have the tiebreaker over the Braves. They do not have it over the Mets. Technically, the Padres' magic number to clinch a playoff spot over the Braves, because they have the tiebreaker, is 9. Any combination of 9 wins and Braves losses Padres wins, Braves losses would clinch the playoffs. However, you have to go a little next level here, because the Mets and Braves play each other 3 times. And because they are at the same spot in the standings at 81-68, follow my math here, if the Padres won 8 of their remaining games to get to 93, they're 85. So 8 games, 8-4. Yeah. There's no way both the Mets and Braves can get to 93 wins. They both have 13 remaining, but because 3 are against each other, both of them can't win 12 games. One of them will have to lose at least 2 of those 3, if not all 3, which means technically the Padres only need 8 more wins to clinch a playoff spot, making their magic number 8 to clinch a playoff spot at the moment.
So we thought it was 9. It's not.
It's actually 8.
It's actually 8.
According to my math. Now, I haven't seen Major League Baseball release any official numbers on that yet, but that's the math that I did today that indicates if the Padres could get to 93 on their own, or if the Mets and Braves, lose games, including tonight, that number will continue to decrease over the last 2 weeks of the season. And an 8-game magic number with 2 weeks left is a pretty good spot to be in.
Yep. Playoffstatus.com, the top result on Googling MLB magic numbers, also says 8.
Okay,
to clinch the 6th seed, just to get in.